So I grew up in Hertfordshire. I was the oldest of 5 kids. I came from a very loving family. I've been drumming since a young age. Like, it's my absolute passion. Yeah, massive on music in general. Before uni, I was in a band. Like, we never made it, but we were doing okay. We were on the way, I'd say. Like, we peaked at 120,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Went on a couple of UK tours. It was really good fun. Growing up, I used to go to church every Sunday with my family. And then at about 13 and 14, my parents were like, oh, it's up to you whether you go anymore. I kept on going for a bit, and then I didn't get it. I didn't understand what everyone was feeling at church and all of this. So I stopped believing. I'd never experienced it. From then on, I sort of started thinking about everything very rationally and logically. Grew up throughout my whole teenage years not believing. So I just didn't really care about what I was doing at the time. As soon as I was 16, I started working. I started off in Mackey's. From then on, I sort of stayed in the hospitality industry and moved to different places. I worked my way up to waitering. Basically, last year, I was working one evening, and like my last table of the evening comes in, and it was a man and his wife and their 2 kids. So they get taken to their table. I'll wait a few minutes, go over, take their drinks order, come back a few minutes later with their drinks, and as I'm putting the drinks down, the guy stops me and he's like, oh, you're a musician, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, you're a drummer, aren't you? So, a bit weirded out. I was like, oh, yeah, like, how would you know this? And he was like, oh, God told me. And I was just like, okay, that's weird. So meal went on, chatting to them throughout, and they stopped me again at one point, and they're like, oh, God's told us to give you these Bible verses. So they gave me these 2 Bible verses, and they were just, I don't know, they were things that I'd never told anyone before. They were things that happened in my life at that time, and I hadn't told a single person. There's no way that anyone would know these things. So when they gave me these Bible verses that were like exactly related to them, I was just, very weirded out. It turns out they were from Brazil. They'd been in the country for a month. They didn't live anywhere near. So I ended up asking them, like, how come they'd come to St. Albans today, out of all places. And they were like, oh, to find you, brother. And I was just like, what? Like, what is going on? These people from a different country didn't live anywhere near, had come all this way to find me. And I was just so weirded out. I was like, okay, what is going on? And then end of the meal, their bill was about £20, and then they were like, God's told us to give you this, and they gave me £20 cash tip on top, which I still have to this day. And just all of a sudden, I was so overwhelmed. I was so like confused, and I don't know what was going on, but something clicked in my mind that day. There was no rational or logical way that they could have known these things. It's really cool. It's exciting, because the more I pursued it, the more crazy cool things started to happen. When I say church to people, a lot of them will think of like a big traditional old building, judgmental old people singing hymns. I personally find that really boring. Like the church I go to it's like a live band every Sunday, and it's just showing you how Christianity, it's like a modern approach on it. It's like how it's still relevant to life now, and it's something I feel very strongly about. Made the decision to get baptised, and yeah, it was for myself and in front of other people. It's a way of saying that this is what I believe in, this is what I'm passionate about, this is the life I'm choosing.
Seb, do you place your trust in the Lord Jesus Christ?
Do.
Well, then we baptise you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.